juice? Who's got the juice? Smooth.
Hello my juicy friends out there, whether you come from that way or that way in the side of the globe, it doesn't matter, you've all got the juice. And welcome to my new show. A little show that I like to call Juicy Treats. What Juicy Treats is it's going to be a collection of small little videos about my opinions on a gaming series as a whole. These are going to be really short, really like quick, snappy, maybe, I don't know, depends how I'm feeling about the series, but the point of them is that I'm going to be able to give them all to you, like keep you guys all updated and whatnot, all the while I'm scripting like a big video, so a review, a top 10, or if I'm organising a juice lit. These will be able to keep me informed with you guys, keep me in touch with you, let me see more of your beautiful faces, all the while, so yeah, I just want to give you guys more content. And since this is my first episode of this little show, I would really appreciate it and really love it if you could tell me in the comments what you think, if you think I should carry on doing it, or if you want me to do something different entirely, or if there's a gaming series you want me to cover. I mean, I'm happy to talk about any gaming series, whether it be good experiences, bad experiences, emotional experiences. I'm here for all the gaming series. That was a lot of And today's juicy treat will be on the Katamari series. I don't know even what that was. Do you have a gaming series that you can play over and over again, no matter what mood you're in, what you're doing at that current time? You can just play it forever, for hours, and you can do the same stages over and over and over again? For me, that's the Katamari series. I love this game to bits. I mean, to be fair, I've only played Katamari Forever and Me and My Katamari, both being on the PS3 and the PSP, but I'm pretty sure the premise of all the games is still the same. And I am going to get Katamari Damacy. I just need to find it for a good price, good quality, because I really want to make sure it's like a really nice condition, which may be a bit hard to come by since it's kind of become a bit of a classic. And I'm just begging for it to come out on the PS4 to lighten the bloody thing up. The premise of these games is really simple. You get given a task, mainly being to make your Katamari as big as possible in a limited amount of time, and you just have to complete it, really. But there is a twist. The twist being that you have to pick up everything like in a set order, so you can't just randomly start picking up people, buildings, and the whole universe. No, you have to start off with the small things, be it like a bit of gum, toothpicks, pencils, and then gradually build up as you go, making your Katamari bigger as it grows. You know, it's like that fish game when you start off as a little fish, and then you have to eat all the other like little fish, and then you can start eating the sharks. It's kind of like that game. Now this premise is not as simple as it sounds, as you can get really like intense, and it's a really big challenge when you spend 20 seconds looking for an item you can actually pick up, because like you think, oh, there's a goat there, I can pick up the goat, but it just ends up pushing you all the way back and you're just like, no goat, no, I wanted to pick you up. But like those challenging moments, those really intense moments, it really gets you going, especially when the alarm goes off and then you're like, holy shit, I am not big enough. And I do love a good old challenge, and these games certainly provide that when they want to. I mean, I've been stuck on some of these levels for a good old few hours. Some of them are really freaking tough. But the missions aren't the only challenging thing, as a lot of people actually find the controls like quite hard to grasp. So you have to like get the analog sticks and you have to move them like that, and some people just can't get their head around it. I'm not gonna lie, I found it a bit tricky once I started. I mean, I remember I was running around being like, no, turn that way, or no, I didn't want it to jump, or no, I wanted to dash. But once you get the head around it, you actually think, it's not that tricky. It's really quite simple, and you just get your head around it and then just get used to it. It's just something that you might need to take a little bit of time with. It's also a lot of fun, like if you bring your friend round and you're like, oh yeah, I can play this game, it's really weird, it's really cool. And then they get the controls and they're like, no! And then you just like, okay, just give it here, and then you just show them how it's done. It's little moments like that that keep you going, you know, when you can just, if your friend's showing off and then you can just show off back at them. I am a horrible person. But the main thing I love about these games is the art style and the music. They're apeshit crazy. I mean, you could tell this game from a mile away. Like, you could be walking along a path and then you look into someone's window and then you're like, ah, they're playing Katamari, because the art style is so distinctive. It's so bright, colourful, goofy, and if you know me by now, you know I love that art design and I love that approach to games. You know, the more bright and colourful ones than being all dark and serious like Bloodborne. But I do love Bloodborne. I mean, I remember when I first saw my brother playing Me and My Katamari, I believe it was in the car, and I just saw the colours and I just thought, I must play this game. And so I played it, and now I absolutely flippin' love it. And the music is just brilliant. I mean, one moment you can have like a really upbeat techno, like, and then the next moment it's all soothing and calming. I mean, they all speak Japanese and I don't know what the songs are really on about, but that doesn't matter because they're still so much fun. I mean, I could be in any mood and this music just pumps me up. It gets me happy, it gets me ready to start the day. So I listen to this like album and soundtrack at least 3 times a week from all the games. I especially love the difference between like Katamari on the Swing. I mean, in Katamari Damacy it's more like classy and jazzy, and then when you go from Katamari Forever it's like upbeat techno and really Namco-y, and I just love the difference and the fact that they could take the music to both extremes. It's just really cool and I just absolutely love it. I mean, I remember once my friend said we were getting ready to go out and she said, oh, put on a soundtrack that like gets you ready because I don't listen to much modern music, and she was curious. So of course on came Katamari soundtrack and she just turned at me and said, what the hell are we listening to? And I said, this is works of art. These are beautiful soundtracks and they get me pumped and ready for the day. And then she turned it off and put on something else. She just didn't understand. Now the plots to these games aren't anything that spectacular, but then again, what can you really make out of a game where you just roll up shit all day? But I have to say, I really do like the Katamari Forever plot. I mean, the king, he gets into a coma, and then in order to wake him up, you have to roll loads of Katamaris to hopefully wake him up, bring memories back, all that stuff. And meanwhile, you've got like an alternate they made, Robo King, who's like my favourite character in the Katamari series. And he malfunctioned and he's blown up all the stars, and now he's panicking because he's like, I don't want the king to wake up and then discover I've killed everything. So of course he sends you, the prince, who does all the flipping chores, to like go and roll everything up to make stars again. So you've got 2 different sets of stories, 1 to wake up the king and then 2 to fix the stars that Robo King destroyed. And I especially love Robo King because he mumbles all the time. I mean, literally, like, you've got the music and it's like, and then he just like quivers all the time. And I think he talked about a bank at one point. I'm trying to remember. Like, I genuinely laughed whenever I saw him like speak, and I just love the character so much. If I could have a top 10 robots list, which I could do actually, he would certainly be in the top 5. I mean, I just love him to bits. And also the character designs for the Katamari series I think are just perfect. They're so bold, memorable, yet simple at the same time. I mean, the prince, he's only a little green man, but I'd say you'd be able to recognise him if you saw him, like, in a poster or something. You'll be able to be like, yeah, that's the prince from Katamari. But the King of Cosmos, on the other hand, you could tell him from a mile away. I mean, he's just so bold and daring. So yeah, that's just the kind of game that this is. It's just bold, it's experimentative, it's fun, it's wacky, it's goofy, and I just absolutely love it. I think it's one of those games that anyone can pick up and then just love it, really. I mean, apart from the control differences, but once you get the hang of them, like I said, you will have a blast with this game. So the Katamari series has brought me happiness in the toughest of times, laughter. It's made many memories I've made with it, whether I'm playing it by myself or I'm introducing it to others. It's definitely a series that if you want to just lay back, just play a casual game that's appealing to look at, awesome music, it's funny, it's fun, it's wacky, you don't take it seriously, then I can't recommend this series enough. And also if you want to see the world in my eyes, then you should play this game as well. But I can't end this video without simply screaming my favourite thing to scream in this game. Katamari on their ways! Yeah.